say you king, what would your brother be?